You're doing what?
I'm getting the marshmallow off my stick.
Are you? How are we cooking the marshmallows today?
We are putting it over this rocket stove where there's fire down there that's going to heat our marshmallows so we can eat it.
Who built the rocket stove?
My papa and me and Alexia.
Uh-huh. Did you learn something about making rocket stoves? Huh?
You have to have the right material and you have to have
Whoops, put it back in there. Don't let it fall out. Alright, shove them in a little bit. Look at it going, man. You see it from the top? Oh boy. Alright, you can stick it. Well, that's enough in there to cook marshmallows. Here you go, get you one. So we made our first rocket stove the other day. I don't know if it's gasifying or not, but it sure does do a good job on marshmallows for the kids.
Here you go, Papa.
Awful lot of good videos on YouTube on making rocket stoves. I don't know if we have enough space between the can that we feed the wood in or not, to give the ash time to go down. I didn't know if it gasifies when the ash goes into the bottom and then causes the wood to gasify before it burns it because of the heat of the coals. I'm not sure, but anyway, this is our first attempt at a rocket stove. We might change the design a little bit. We insulated the can with sand. We have plenty of sand in Florida, so I didn't have any vermiculite, so I insulated the burner can with sand, and it seems to work just fine. So but I know the vermiculite wouldn't leak out if I had that. So anyway, just a short video on our first rocket stove. We hand it back to me, baby. We dropped the marshmallows. Alright, go ahead, hook it up. Some of the other things we're doing here today, we started our boat the other day. I want to make a little electric boat for my grandson. There'll be possibly more videos to come on this later, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to title this when I put it on. I may put it up twice, once for the boat and once for the rocket stove. We also made a little cart for our granddaughter the other day to ride around in. We took the wheels off the back of an old shop vac. I made a box. I had sold my conduit bender, so I had to kind of improvise on smashing down these aluminum tubes, and they eventually broke.
Look, it's a monster.
Oh, you made a monster marshmallow? Oh, cool. And then we took a couple of casters. Take the whole bag, Savannah. And we made a gimbal, so the yoke for the whole cart that we made for the baby could swivel when they were riding it, and it really worked real good. They used it for 2 days, but without the proper bends on the tubes, where it was attached to the gimbal bearings there, it kind of it got work hardened, and the aluminum broke. So anyway, we'll rework that later, and again, this will probably be a separate video. If you've never made one of these before, it's just a couple of casters. You pull the wheels out, you bolt them together, and it kind of makes a swivel bearing where you can swivel in most directions. I'm out of acetylene from my oxygen welder, so I would have welded this right here. It doesn't have a lot of pressure on it, but when it bends down this way, the yoke was rubbing on the tire, so I had to pull it up with a couple of zip ties. And this is a piece here off of an old bicycle seat, and that whole bike then went to the curb after I got that piece off. I think I might even came from the curb. speaking of the curb, the only thing I bought for this little boat project so far is the little 1x3s I use for the chine logs and the gunnels. Everything else came from the curb and was all recycled. So I've got like less than $12 in it so far with the screws and the glue and the 1x3s. So anyway, we'll get it covered with plywood. I plan on putting a little trolling motor on it with a simple little wheel steering system and move the control head up to the front. And I think I'll mount it like a throttle handle on the twist grip for the trolling motor, so you can actually push it forward and back, kind of like a regular throttle for a real boat. Alright, that's it for now. Bye.